Let's do some questions and answers. If you have any questions you want to ask us, have an interesting topic that you want to pitch, or want to be part of the show, send us an email at bastardsgamingnetwork@gmail.com or message us on the Bastards of Gaming Facebook group. So, question number 1 comes from the Thirst for a Chest Burst. And their question is, which is the best and worst controller ever made?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say. I mean, controllers kind of continue to evolve. I think we're almost at the place where we sort of mastered it. I do think the Elite controller, the Xbox Elite controller, is pretty damn good. Although I find it a little bit, I don't know. I just don't really have a use for it, even though it feels great. I think it's a little too heavy. Like it has like a weight to it, and I'm not like the super like pro gamer that needs the little paddles and do all this stuff. But it's definitely useful for those people that take advantage of that type of stuff. I do like how you can program, get in there and like tweak, the dead zone and a lot of this other stuff. But yeah, so I would say like overall, the Xbox One Elite controller is probably the best. My only complaint about the Xbox One controllers are the shoulder buttons. I've had like 2 or 3 controllers now where one of the shoulder buttons just eventually goes out on it.
Really?
And it's just a flaw. And I'm not hard on my controllers at all. Like I play pretty sensibly. It's something about the way they're made and the way they're over time. I don't know. I've broken 3 right bumpers on my controllers from just normal play. So I really hope they sort of go back to the drawing board and fix that with the next iteration of the Xbox controller. Because other than that, the Xbox One controller is pretty damn perfect.
That has to be something you're doing, honestly.
No, it's just
come on. You had 3 controllers that did it. I've never heard of that in my life.
I've heard of other people complaining about it. I don't know. I play games differently in that I use sort of my index finger and my middle finger triggers and buttons up there. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It wouldn't make me press the button any harder. Where most people just use their index finger and they sort of go back and forth up and down between like left and right bumpers and left and right triggers. I use like index and middle finger. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, like I'm definitely not abusing the controllers. So I don't know what happens. It's just the way it's made. I want to break one open and actually look inside of it one day and see what it sort of looks like. But you can almost feel the cheapness of it if you really start pushing it down. But I don't know, worst controller ever made. I mean, I really just hate the fucking Nintendo 64 controller, to be honest with you. I never even bothered with the GameCube. I never even had one, so I don't know about that. I think that's probably better than the Nintendo 64. I mean, obviously the older, NES and Super NES, like really very basic controllers are kind of shitty. I mean, they worked for what they needed for those systems to be. But yeah, I would say, I don't know. I think the Nintendo 64 is probably the worst controller ever made. What do you think?
It's funny. You said the same controllers I wanted to say. I agree that the Xbox One controller is probably the best. I do like the PS4 controller too, but I think the layout is better on the Xbox One controllers.
Yeah, I mean, people just, I don't know what it is about the offset sticks, but it just feels right. You know what I mean?
Your hand just kind of goes to where it needs to go.
Yeah, which I've been meaning to. It kind of seems like a pointless thing for the most part, but I've been wanting to pick up that SCUF controller that's like a Sony backed sort of SCUF controller. Have you seen that for the PlayStation 4?
No.
It has the offset sticks like a Xbox controller, and it looks super fucking nice. And I'm thinking about buying one. I can't remember how much they are, but I don't know. It looks like kind of like the Elite controller for a PS4. But yeah, it has the offset sticks like an Xbox controller.
Yeah, and the Nintendo 64 controller, it just looking at it's ugly. At the time, it worked, but it was, I don't know. It's just such a weird design. It's so odd, and like the joystick would get like grimy and squeak, and like it's just shit after some point. It's just I don't know. I never understood why the controller was designed that way. It was weird, like 3 prongs, like you have to move your hand around. It's just stupid. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and yeah, I hated that little middle joystick because it had like the sort of weird diagonal like grooves to it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you would try to like spin it around, it would always be like clack it. It would just like wouldn't be smooth like to just
Mhm.
spin it around. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I don't
Mhm.
know. It's fucking hated it. I remember playing this like fucking Mario Party game
Yeah.
where you'd have all those mini games
Yeah.
and where you'd have to like you have to like rotate that fucking
Yeah.
joystick,
And it
and I
eats
would
it
just
eats the
fucking
skin off your hand.
yeah, it'd fucking destroy your goddamn hand. You'd be fucking crippled after playing that shit.
People are like, "Oh, you're jerking off a bit too hard." It's like, "No, I'm playing Mario Party, dude."
Yeah.